Speaker, worldwide trainer Ms. Deniz Senelt Kalelioglu is a learning development consultant, an international master trainer, a speaker, an author, an executive coach, and entrepreneur herself. She delivers speeches and conducting training at numerous international, regional, and national events from Japan to America, Denmark to Jordan. She traveled 89 countries and spoken to more than 100 nationalities. And now, we have the privilege to listen to her. With your applause, I invite her to the stage, Ms. Deniz.
Thank you very much. Hello, dear teenager MBA friends. How are you?
Fine.
Good. I am so happy to address you today in your school, Doha College. And also, I'm really happy to be a part of your Entrepreneur Week, because what I would like to tell you today perfectly fits with Entrepreneur Week, what you need to start thinking in your minds about entrepreneurship. I believe everything is in the mind, and what you think, how you think, makes the biggest difference about how you will live, what you will achieve. Before I start, I would like to ask you to raise your hand if you think you want to be an entrepreneur later on in your life. Who would like to be entrepreneurs in your life? We have some hands. Okay, nice to see. I also would like to ask, who thinks that you are already entrepreneurs? Is there any one of you who thinks that you're already an entrepreneur? Oh, we already have one hand. Isa, I believe. Why do you think you are already an entrepreneur?
I worked with my parents about this, they're selling some stuff, and I know I have a lot of ideas for their job, and they're actually making it, getting paid for it, of course. So I think I already started my journey to an entrepreneur mind.
So you're helping your family's business, that's why you're already in the track of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Perfect. So let me start with talking about my experience a little bit. I'm from Ankara, actually, and I studied at the university economics. And after I studied economics, I went to USA, and I got some internships there, and I explored what I really want to do. And while I was doing that, I also found some organizations, non-governmental organizations, who are doing projects like you are doing in your MBA programs. And I joined those projects. I started to be more active in life. And after I came back from USA to Istanbul and started my master's, my graduate studies in psychology. So I started training people on my voluntary time beside my work, and this path take me to be trainer by myself as a profession as well. So I would like you to draw your attention to these 4 items on the screen. Do you remember these from somewhere? Does those feel something related to you? What do you remember when you see those things? Someone else? Yes? Say it loud. TMBA, what you are doing actually. So when I searched what is this TMBA really, I found this website of your school which says the strategic targets with your program that you're enrolling has this entrepreneurship and taking initiative in it already. So when I ask you if you're already acting like entrepreneurs, doing something related, you should be directly remembering this, because just being in this program in this school, you are doing some kind of entrepreneurship, especially with the projects that you're doing, with the social projects that you're doing beside your lessons, beside your work at the school. The entrepreneurship's explanation according to the dictionary is not just opening a company by yourself. It's not just starting a business by yourself, but it's also being a go-getter, being an active person. When things are happening, you don't just sit down and watch the other people do things, but it's the people who cannot sit still and want to do something for their life, for their communities, for the problems that they see in their environment. If you do something, then you are already having the entrepreneurship spirit. So if you are doing something for the poor children to give them some clothing for the winter, if you are contributing to that project, you are already having some entrepreneurship in yourself. Or when we look at this, the other one, the library that you're founding, a library in other schools, if you're contributing to that project, you're already doing something entrepreneurial. So when we think, it's not just, the entrepreneurship doesn't start when you finish university and when you start to be able to build a company or build a business. You are already in this track. You just need to remember and recognize it. So be aware that it is already in you. And we would be able to develop it in time. When we look at my journey, the first picture is from 2006, when I get an international award as the most outstanding trainer of Europe. When I aimed that award, there were never a Turkish person before who got that award. And when I was talking about this, that I want to get this award, nobody believed in me. But being the go-getter in me, I should be the one if nobody else did it. So I used these international organizations to be able to develop, to be able to have the opportunity to do things, these kind of things. And the other picture on the right side is from this year, from August 2018. I got another international award, this time a worldwide award, from another international organization for my leadership and communication internationally. So these awards brought some attention to Turkish people, to women, and to young people who can achieve things if they want to, if they believe into it, and if they act on it. So this story also brought me to a professional entrepreneurship as well. I started working at Vakko companies as a training manager, so I was working for a company first, but then it was always in my mind, I can do it by myself also, I can build up a company also, I can build up a brand also. So how can I do this? My mind was busy with these. And this brought the Pro Academy training, coaching and consulting company as of 2008. So 2008 I left my manager job in Vakko companies, and opened my own company. So as an entrepreneur, when you're feeling it inside of you, this also brings you to this might bring you to this point as well. But as a TMBA students here, first I want you to start feeling like entrepreneurs and have the entrepreneur mind in your heads. For that, I would like to give you 7 keys to open up your entrepreneur mind. And with those 7 keys, I will explain 7 different keys for yourself. The first one, maybe the most important and underlying key, is goal setting. You need to be setting goals for yourself to be able to reach there one day. Please look at this picture. The picture that you see. A sailboat on the sea with the sails full of air. Just imagine yourself in that sailboat. Where would you go? Think in your mind. If you know where you would go there. Doesn't matter how the wind blows. because you will arrange your sales accordingly. So for your life also, there will be winds from everywhere. But you need to know how to use your sales to reach where you want to reach. And for that, you need to know where you want to reach. That's very important. And within that, I would like to mention something. Our country is not easy. We cannot think of what will happen tomorrow. It's very unpredictable. Anything can change tomorrow. So maybe people think, oh, how can I plan and have a goal? Anyway, I don't know what will happen in 1 year or 5 years or 10 years. But if you have your goals, then you can maneuver the possibilities, you can arrange the wind to take you there, even if you would not reach there the day you want or the exact place you want. And to be able to plan, you need to really decide on your goals. I had my graduate studies in Bosphorus University on cognitive psychology. And cognitive psychology is the way we think, how we use our brain, and how our memory works for us. And I researched the effect of goals, effect of having goals. How does it affect your memory? For that, I asked 200 people some questions. 100 of them are university students, and the other 100 of them are people who already start working in companies after university. I asked all of them, what was your goal, the most important goal, when you were 15 to 20 years of age? Can you believe? Nearly all of them said, I didn't have a goal. I was studying for the university exam, and I ended up in a department, so I studied something, and then with that diploma I just entered this job, or I'm hoping to enter this job. How come nearly 100% of the people in Turkey don't have a goal? And when I forced them, oh come on, you should have at least one goal, the majority of the results is entering the university, passing the university exam. It's incredible, but it's the reality of our society and of our country. So, for this, I would like to give you a new tool that you can apply for your life. Maybe you will use it more and more later on, but start using it as of today. This is a timeline, and I call it I-timeline. And you put your birth year in the beginning of the line here, whatever is your birth year, and you put here the year that you want to think about. Maybe it's 5 years, maybe it's 1 year for you, maybe it's 10 years. But put a time frame for yourself. And under that, you put the significant things that you want to achieve. For example, finishing the high school, entering the university, finishing the university, kind of. Put those things under your timeline. Guess sometimes, okay, I would be 20 and in 20 I would do this. When I will be 25, I will do this, kind of. So in your timeline that you decided how long it will be for this work that you're doing, this exercise you're doing, put the dates when you will achieve whatever you decide. If you will open your company, you can put that there too. That it's not the only entrepreneurship you would do. If you would join an international organization, if you would do some helping project, you can put those things there. Within this, it will become more real. It will become more significant for yourself. That you will be able to visualize what is it that you want to achieve. So if you apply this, you can easily get ahead of your goal setting. And the next one, next key that I would like to give is detailed planning. Before I say that, I would like to ask you, does any one of you have already a goal that you know you want to achieve? Anyone with a goal? Yes, first you.
I want to be a Russian politician.
You want to be a politician?
Yes.
and you are already setting your goal for that, and you are thinking about it and working about it.
Yeah, I already have the names of universities that I need to go in.
You already looked into the university programs according to your goal in your future. That's perfect. So when I ask people to answer something, I might give some things. Here I would like to give a booklet that here is the mind maps that you can fill for yourself. So whenever you are deciding on your mind map, you can use this format and apply this for you. So this is for you. You can come and take it. I have some more, depending on the questions I ask, and I may give more. Thank you. What was your goal? What is your goal?
My goal is that to have a company like Turkish running, it is hard. I know that it's hard. I need to hard work.
So you want to have a company of your own, which is like Turkish Airlines. A big company you want to have. Okay, perfect. Huh? Depends on the plans, but if you know you want, it shouldn't be like a wish. Oh, I wish I would have a big company. But if I cannot make it, the small one is also okay. So if we just wish for it, then we cannot make it, because the people who really makes it are the ones who doesn't stop when things go wrong. So if you just wish for it, you might not have the energy to go the next step. That's why it's very important. You need to put it on paper. You need to put it as a serious goal, and then you do something to achieve it all the time. With the other keys, you would get more understanding. So this is also for you. Can you give this to him? Thank you. The next thing is, the next key is having a detailed plan. Because the more you plan, the less you can go away from that plan. So you should be planning it really well, what you will do, when you will do, how you will do, and then in time you change them, so you can be flexible. To be able to be flexible, you need to know everything in your plan. When you know, you can change it. But if you leave everything to the moment, then you can have no control on anything. Then you cannot be flexible also. For example, when I wanted to be an international trainer, already 15 years ago, I thought, I want to be an international trainer. What I should do? First of all, it would be good to have some international environment. So I joined these international organizations. And I did more traveling. I used all my budget, all my holiday monies to go to some international events and meet people. Go to international universities, meet their students there, meet their teachers there, even if I would not join that university. I use every opportunity to be more international and see different people who'd done it before me. So I was looking for an international organization about training, and I recognized the Association for Talent Development. And they were having international meetings every year for 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people and more. And I joined the conference. I said, okay, I will go and see. It was 4 days of early morning till evening, a lot of seminars, and I watched what do they do to be able to be selected there. And I thought, why there was never a Turkish person on stage there in that conference? So I put my goal as being able to speak there, to be chosen to speak there. Which, after the keys that I will tell you, I achieved it. I was the first Turkish speaker in that international organization's conference, and this year, since 12 years, I'm a speaker there. So the important thing is planning, and for the planning, you can use the mind map. In the mind map, you can, the mind map is itself a big subject for another training. But you're learning its name, and you're becoming aware of it now. You can search in the internet. the information is easy in front of your fingers. So search mind map and try to do your planning on a mind map, because then you can use your brain better, you can use your mind potential better. And of course there are tricks like using colors, using keywords, using your thinking from middle to the branches, kind of. And as we have two sides of our brain, this employs both sides of your brain. So it's very effective. The second key is this. So make sure you try to use your brain, because we have a potential there. We have big potential in our mind, in our brain. We don't know about it, we don't use about it, but it is there. Just use different techniques to employ, to make use of your brain more. So let's come to the third key. Third key is strategic thinking. You need to be thinking strategically, not just live the moment as it comes and it goes. You need to have a strategy. Make a strategy to reach your goal. And it will be different paths. You can choose different roads to the goal that you want to achieve, you want to go. But you need to think strategically, and especially think from back to front. What do I mean? First, end result. What is the end result that you want to achieve? And then, what you need to do just before that to reach there. What you need to do before that to reach there. And what you need to do today, now, to reach the end result from today. And if you can plan that way, you would end up closer in your plans. And we always think short term in Turkey most of the time. If you think only short term, you can make use of your resources and your situation now, but in the longer run, you may miss some things because you didn't do it correctly before. So you need to be able to think short term and long term, not after each other, but parallel. So if you can think parallel, what is my short-term plans and what is my long-term plans? How do they fit to each other? How does the short terms multiply to each other and then end up as the long-term goal? If you can do this in your mind, then for sure you will have a strategic plan. You will not be tactical, which is just acting on what is going on, but you will be strategical, which is being more proactive. This proactivity is another key word, because if you're proactive, then you guide the road. You guide your life, not that life guides your what you're doing. So the next key is productivity. Very important, how you feel productive. You know, time is money. You know, time is passing and that's the only thing that you cannot bring back. So spending your moment the most productive way is a big key. Because you are here, right now. You have no other choice. You came, you sit, you're listening to me. If you don't get everything out of it, if you think of your lessons now, if you think of your family now, and your movie theater plans, then you will miss this moment. Then the moment is not spent productively. That's why productivity is very important, because you make use of your potential with every resource you have if you think productively. And do everything you need to do, plus do more. What does that mean? Of course, I need to work hard at my office in the office hours because they pay for that to me. But the extra work that I do after work, the extra activities that I do, is to develop myself, to add more to myself. And it is that I don't have to do it. I could just go and enjoy a nice holiday time. But instead of that, I even read in the planes or while waiting the planes, or I all the time extra research on things which I don't have to. But if you do above what you need to do, then you're one step ahead all the time. So make sure you use the moment productively and do more than you have to do. If you need to study your lessons, that's your job anyways. You're professional students right now. But whatever you put on top of it is extra, it brings productivity, and it makes you a better entrepreneur in your life. Next important key is resourcefulness. We always say, oh, life is hard, there isn't enough resources, the situation is bad, there is not enough budget. But we are resourceful people. We should be resourceful people. There are a lot of resources. What you need to be aware is, what are the resources? For example, you need to be aware that your energy and the other people's energy are a big resource. How you're using your energy. How you're resting when you're resting. Are you resting deep enough so that when you're active, you have the energy? How you are spending your time, how you are spending your money, and what are the resources that you can reach, and who are the people that you can reach those resources with. So very important is networking. What does networking mean? Meet new people, and maybe even exchange business cards when you have a business later on. And as an entrepreneur, if you have your own business, it's very important, that little card. But if you don't really use it, then you cannot gain anything from that resource. For example, I made a speech in another Doha school 2 years ago due to a student council member student who reached me in her network, using even her father's network. And then that friend of yours joined this school and reached me to do this speech today to you. So she had the network, she had me as a resource in her network, but if she would leave me back in the time that she met me, we would not be here today. We would not be doing this today. So have the network, but also keep it updated, keep the contact, and then whenever you need, use it. Even the connection, what I mean with keep, for example, you finished the high school, send a message to the people that you know. I finished my school and I'm joining that university now. Even you don't want anything from them, let them know. If I would know that you succeeded in something, I would be happy to know about it. So now you know me, you can add me in the social media, in LinkedIn for example, and when you graduate, when you achieve something, you can let me know. You know what? I did this and that was good. I just wanted to keep in touch with you. I just wanted to let you know. So use that also. The sixth one is personal Kaizen that I called, because Kaizen is a professional strategy from Japan. Have you heard of Kaizen before? Can I see the hands who heard Kaizen? Okay, not really, because it is an Asian philosophy from Japan. And Japanese businesses use it for continuous improvement. They give importance to improving their business little by little every day and continuously adding something onto it. And with the dedication and perseverance is the key. And I use it as personal Kaizen because I believe all of us need to develop one by one every day, even it's a little bit. That's why it's important. And the last key is actually your key. Because it's not one type fits everybody. Life is so diverse. You need to know what fits you best for you to be more entrepreneurial minded. And you find it while you're doing and use it all the time. Recognize it, that it helps you, and use it. So I gave you all these 7 keys, and I hope you will use those keys to open up your entrepreneur mind. And as I said, Thank you for joining me here, and keep in touch. Thank you.
We thank you, Mrs. Deniz. I'm gonna get to Turkish part.